Uh, Thank you very much, everybody. You are welcome to this meeting of today. And before we proceed to transact the business, we are going to have a word of prayer. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor, as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important tasks in the county. That's where blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and a faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance peace, prosperity, and the welfare of our county and of those whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen. Members, any apology? I've just come to realize some are on the way. They are just coming. We are interrogating the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Kisumu County Revenue Board financial year 2023-2024. May I want to adopt the agenda? Kosa? Honorable Were? Seconded by Nancy Matara. Honorable, thank you. We are going to introduction members. I'm on Ken Ouko, Chair, PIC County Assembly of Kisumu, MCA West, Kisumu Ward. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tom Anditi, MCA Ombei Ward, Vice Chair, PIC Committee. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is James Were, MCA for Nyaranda B Ward, and a member of the committee. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Ruben Okoth Rakwach, Kulwa East Ward, member of the committee.
Warento Joffrey, MCA representing Miwani Ward.
Morning, everyone. I'm Nancy Matara Ochieng, a nominated MCA, a member of this committee.
Back to the Secretariat.
Morning, everyone. I'm Austin Ochieng, Committee Clerk.
My name is Patrick Okoyo, Answered Officer.
Can you introduce yourselves? Thank you. Kindly please, Sergeant Tam, approach the chair. We want to administer the oath. Yeah. We are not done with it. Thank you. I'm sorry for that. Back to the Office of Auditors. I'm sorry for that.
I'm Kennedy Ongoi, representing the Audit Office.
I'm Samuel Chege from the Office of the Auditor General.
My name is Kipaichu from the Office of the Audit.
Thank you. Back to the accounting officers.
Good morning, Chair and members of the County Assembly. My name is Philip Adundo. I'm the CEO for the Kisumu County Revenue Board, and I'm also a clerk emeritus. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Chair, the Honorable in the House. I'm Nandi David, the Head of Finance, Kisumu County Revenue Board.
Good morning, everyone. Kelvin of Civic Revenue.
Good morning. Kaila Peter, Office of the CEO, Kisumu County Revenue Board.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ben Franco Mondi, Procurement Officer, Kisumu County Revenue Board.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Esther Chieno, HR Officer, Revenue Board.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alois Onyuka, Station Officer, Kisumu County Revenue Board.
Thank you very much. Secretary, now you can. You want to administer the oath to the CEO?
I, Philip Adundo, solemnly and sincerely swear that every word that I shall utter before the Public Accounts and Investments Committee is the truth and nothing but the truth, and that every statement and declarations that I shall make shall be made believing the same to be true and according to the oaths and statutory declaration act. So help me God.
Thank you very much. May I remind the Office of the Accounting Officers that by extension, all of you who are in the House, you are under oath. So I hope you understand very clearly what it entails to be under oath. May I confirm from the Office of the Clerk whether the responses were sent to his office on time?
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, we received responses from the management on 26th May 2023. However, today in the morning, the management has submitted a new set of responses, Chairman. So I cannot say that the responses were submitted in time. Thank
you. May I confirm from the Office of the Auditor General whether they got responses from the accounting entity in time?
Thank you, Chair. I confirm we received the response on 27th May 2025. However, the same was communicated to the clerk, the committee. The responses that were submitted were responses to the draft audit report and not the Auditor General's. Thank you.
Maybe if I can confirm from the CEO, we have a response dated 4th December 2024. We also have another response 21st January 2025. Would you please come clear on these two documents?
The first response was a response to the ML, yeah. And when we came here last time, we could not proceed. So when we approached the auditors, we confirmed that the response that was required was supposed to be the one that was after the ML. The one that we have given you is the one that the auditor has gone through. Still has issues. The first one was just ML that we were supposed to respond, but the auditor had not put it. Thank you.
You said this, the first one, the 4th December? This was which responses? Could you please just come clear? The first response was meant for what purpose? So you are allowed to give anyone the opportunity to explain. Should there be a need?
What the accountant is telling me, and the position of our position is, the first response was a response from the management letter. So after the management letter was responded to the auditor, some issues were adequately responded to, and therefore they were dropped. So
this one you can put up here. So you it means you responded to the draft. This was a draft response. Who was doing this? Which team is this?
Before I resume the office. Thank you.
If I have confirm from you, how long have you been in the office?
I've been about 15 working days.
I now understand why you are consulting and you are the CEO. I can now understand. Back to the members. Because maybe who did the response to the draft? Who was the head of that kind of response? Mr. Nandi, you should be in a position of responding to that.
Thank you, Chair. The response was done with the office holder prior before we assumed the office. And since that now we are in the office, we have to inherit all the liabilities within the office. What I can categorically say is that the response that we provided in the first instance was the ML, the draft report, which was issued by auditors. And due to the request for invitation to our to come to the assembly, we had no copy of the final audit report at our disposal. And we assume that the reports that were issued earlier are the main reports that we are supposed to submit. Coming to now, later when we discussed this one with the Auditor General, he advised me to...
No, maybe you are jumping the gun.
Yes.
I may like to know from the chair who did a response to the audit report.
The audit response was done by Mr. Oyo, and the then CEO was in the office.
So you are trying to disown yourself from this report? This is not your document?
Since I'm in that office right now, it will be my document.
Maybe we can hear from the accountant who was We would like to establish the cause of this problem because we don't expect this from you. Were you part of the response to how long have you been an accountant? Since last year. Do you know the procedures of submitting a response to the auditor? How comes you are responding to the draft?
After we got the final audit response, we had not submitted our response. The final audit.
I'm asking, can't you just compose yourself? How comes you know the procedure of responding to the auditors and you are responding to a draft? So, in other words, you are doing what you know because you had confirmed you know the procedure. At the same time, with the procedure, you are floating the procedure and responding to the draft. Maybe back to the members. And maybe we can also confirm when a CEO, did you send this to the auditor? The response dated 21st January 2025. Did you send it to the auditor? So, when did you send this to the assembly?
The dated I've come with it this morning.
So, in other words, you are expecting we handle your report today?
Yeah, if you go through the documents, the last queries which were there in the draft, only 4 were dropped. The rest were retained in that report. Now it's just the similarity of what we had submitted earlier.
So you wanted us to respond to the draft. That is what you are trying to say, because that is a draft. And this is the legal paper for us. You wanted us to respond to that?
Sorry, sir. What I mean, the queries that we have submitted for the 21st is just the same lifted queries which were provided in our draft.
But this is not the right one.
There is no difference.
See, it has been one, Mr. Nandi.
Yes, sir.
Is it not explained that you should not respond to the draft? Are you not aware you should not respond to the draft from the Auditor General?
Sir,
the draft is only actually informing you on what the Auditor General is intending to ask, probably when you will be responding to the final Auditor General's report.
We are sorry, sir. What is
so
21st?
So in other words, get me clear, gentlemen. In other words, you have messed up yourself and you expect us to help you in the messes. And you are an accountant. You know what is required of you. You can't be dealing with a draft.
The report on 21st is not a draft. It's now the audited report.
I'm not talking about the 21st. I'm talking about the first response you brought here, which you responded to the draft of the Auditor General.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yes. So this one here, it is legal there, but what you should be doing is to bring a report maybe 1 week so that we can examine, we can go through that report, we can do some other things. Now we can now call you to respond to it.
I'm sorry, sir.
Now, this report is received today. How do you expect to interrogate it as the head of finance? Maybe back to the members.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, according to the accountant, he's saying that only 4 were dropped, isn't it? So in your analysis that since the other one, the draft one, we have only dropped 4, so the memories of the other one are still fresh. What about those members who are not present at that meeting? Would you think they have the time to read this thing on the floor of the House now, internalize them, identify issues that should be interrogated, and then subject them to a discussion in the meeting?
Maybe you can respond to that before we give another big member. I know we are going to confuse them.
Yeah, sorry. The whole response that
remember when you are here, you address the chair.
Chair, sorry, chair, and the reports that we earlier submitted for in respect to your invitation has all the queries that were attached in the last auditor report. Had it that maybe members has gone through all of them, then basically forwarded the last bit of the queries is just making a reference to what the last audited queries to be tackled. I believe
So you are giving directive to the committee on how to operate. Okay. Honorable Were.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, whether 4 questions were dropped, or 3, or 2, or 1, it means the documents are different. And Bwana Chair, if they responded to draft, and this morning the Office of the Auditor General is getting their responses today, at the same time, the committee is also receiving the responses today, it means we don't have a case to answer. Mr. Chair, I don't think this meeting can proceed because we need time to go through that response that we've received this morning. We have to go through it as a committee. And even the Office of the Auditor General has to go through those responses. Because now we are dealing with 2 different documents. We had analyzed the first response, which was concerning the draft, of which they have admitted that they responded to the draft and not the final report of the Office of the Auditor General. So, Mr. Chair, it is my humble plea that give committee more time. Let us go through that, then we can have a case. Thank you.
Sergeant Adam, before I give it to another member, would you please take this and give it to the auditor to verify whether they have that report? Any member? Honorable Rakwach.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think I'll not be different from the views of other members, because it is like we are going to run a meeting whereby you are invited, and in the invite they say the agenda will be tabled in the meeting. So you just go there. It is like a village barasa, whereby you go and you get that. These are the issues. Then you start deliberating. This is an auditor's general report, which we cross-examine you on? How can we cross-examine you in what we are getting now? Is it by design or by default to get us unaware? Because maybe you know the content of your response is not good, so you wanted to get us unaware. So I think it is prudent that we pick another date, go through the response, and invite them again, Honorable Chair, or we wait for the instruction from the chair. And also remember, there are rules that govern the submission of these documents. You should know when to submit before the time. How many days before the time, before the meeting time, so that we are given enough time to go through. Maybe if they don't know, Honorable Chair, then you can guide them. Because maybe they are appearing for the first time. In the luo wacho ni samoro negibiro winjo gima ground wacho, koro ground osewuoyo. Otherwise, thank you, Chair.
If I can get back to the Auditors General, is it confirmed that that is the document you have?
Yes, we confirm we received this document in the morning today.
CEO, are you seeing how you are embarrassing yourself before the House? You have a team of almost 8 people. I'm yet to give you the opportunity to respond. You see how you are now doing the service to yourself. This is a very important entity in the county government. And we don't really expect this kind of confusion to arise from you people. Because you are the focal point when it comes to revenue. And if you are the people now responding to the draft, are we really moving somewhere? Even before we got through the report, the nitty-gritties. You mean all this team, you can't do a proper response to the auditor? See, you would have just come yourself instead of carrying a whole team, which is not helping in any way. Mr. Nandi here is a senior accountant who should have known really the procedures of responding to the Auditor General's report. And the good lady is also an accountant, the procedures. Even when you are reporting, we have different templates, the required template, and all those things. We really don't expect you to come with this. And you expect when you come to the assembly, we rubber stamp and you go? Because you are from the Revenue Board? No, you can't do that. So I want to get from final submission from members, and you must make sure you put your house in order. When you come to the assembly, you have to follow the procedure which is required by the Auditor General. The Auditor General is now embarrassing you further that they got the responses today morning. Surely, how did you expect they go through the report? The county assembly is telling you they got your response today in the morning. How did you expect we interrogate the report? CEO. You see this kind of, and you are in camera throughout the world. Maybe we can hear from final submission from members, because they have suggested we just, if we have to adjourn, they will propose, we debate, we follow the right procedure, and now we adjourn. But I may not like to clear everything before I give them opportunity again, if anybody has something to say. Honorable member, maybe you can introduce yourself first, then you continue.
Thank you, Chair. For the purpose of record, I'm Frederick Ochinga Doninjo Dari, MCA representing Chemelil Tamu Ward. I think, Chair, that is just my suggestion. I believe you will decide on what to do. As much as we are seated here, I'm aware that this process cannot go on because they were aware whatever they have brought for us today, they could have done it earlier. So it means, according to me, and I really dislike anybody or any person who uphold the committee. It means you don't respect this committee. So I'm kindly requesting you, Chair, they can leave and decide and come back with a concrete report earlier. You cannot bring us a report today, then you expect us to deliberate on it. I don't know if this is the first time that you are being cross-examined by the auditors. When I see you, this is the first time.
Through the chair.
Thank you, Chair. You know where I come from.
Yeah.
We normally point.
I understand.
Direct. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it is very, very unfortunate.
The honorable member is just wondering aloud. Yes.
If this is the first time, then I don't know what you will decide. But we will know. I'm aware that you, Chair, I'm aware that they are new in that office. And whatever happened in that office, iko kwa kichwa yako. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Dede.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Honorable Samuel Dede, representing North Kisumu Ward, a member of County. Yes, thank you. As for my colleagues have already mentioned, my main worry is we've been told that the CEO is in the office for only 15 days. He's proved that he's been in the office for the past 15 days. Is it that the only CEO is in the office or the board which you are trying to ask over the issues? Is the board in place? Because at some particular time, there was no board. And if there is a new board, I don't know if the report belongs to them. That's my main worry. Thank you.
With us here is our whip. It's Honorable Whip. You can introduce yourself. Then, if you have your submission, you can make.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Honorable Sethu Chinkanga, member of County Assembly, representing Market Milimani Ward, and at the same time, the majority whip. Chair, I don't have a question, but I have an observation. A very critical observation. You know, Chair, as an assembly, the governor did appoint a board, which was thereby submitted to this assembly and vetted and constituted procedurally. And this goes to the Office of the Auditor General. The Auditor General audited Kisumu County Revenue Board. As far as I'm concerned at present, we don't have something like that. procedurally, because this is a house of procedures whereby we interrogate issues based on the law, the County Government Act, and the statutes. The statutes are, we as an assembly vetted a board, which does not exist at the moment, which means we are interrogating an amorphous grouping whereby the chair is not there and members are not there. Once the Auditor General submits its report, procedurally, the CEO should talk to the chairman, then they convene a board meeting, whereby when they appear before this House committee, that is the Public Accounts and Public Investment Committee, the CEO could have presented a report which has been duly signed by the chairman of the board, procedurally. Because, Mr. Chair, we do always vet even Public Service Board, audit reports, and other organizations. At the moment, we don't have a board, but I stand to be guided.
On a point of order, Honorable Chair.
Procedurally, Chair, I stand to be guided. I was not making a question, but I was just making a remarks. And Chair, with your due guidance, I will oblige. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I just wanted to inform the committee that it is the accounting officer who signs the response to the auditor's statement and not the chairman of the board. At the same time, the board members are the ones who are not there. The board was not disbanded. And we have the chief executive officer of the board. And he has even taken an oath as the CEO of that revenue board. So the board is there. It is the members, the chairman, the vice chairman, and those other members who are not there. But the board is there,
Chair,
the CEO is there.
Honorable Kwacha, as a legislator, is misleading this for the House.
Chief is on a point of order.
Chair,
and before he dispense,
the point of order is misleading.
Even if it is, but procedurally, it is admitted that he go on talking about that. I'm going to give you, so long as it's on.
Yeah, I wanted to finish, Honorable Chair.
Yes.
I think do we collect revenue? Which body collects the revenue in the county? Do we stop oversighting them? Do the auditors report stop auditing them until we get the members, Honorable Chair? Is it a leeway of swindling money that the members are not there now, they are not audited, they don't come here to respond to these questions, and they are collecting revenue, Honorable Chair, and the CEO is there representing, and he is the one who said that, that he represents that board as the CEO of that board. Can you be a CEO of a board which does not exist? If the board is not there, then he should not hold that position. Because he's the CEO of what now? He has said he's the CEO of the board. So if I'm getting that the board is not there, then I'm confused. You need to guide us. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable member, the whip was wandering aloud and he gave a question. Oh. You are also wandering aloud at the same time.
You know, Chair.
Whip.
Chair, you have been in this house, this third assembly. And I was bringing to your attention and the attention of the House that we did constitute a board as a county government of Kisumu. And presently, do we have that board? For you to be a CEO, you must be a CEO of some board, which has got the chairman and members. So currently, as constituted, we don't have a board. We have the CEO of the County Revenue Board, but the board members are not there. Even the minutes of the board are not there. If I'm lying, then the CEO will be able, and the board members will be able to tell now the honorable members, you are misleading the House. The board is there. These are the minutes of the board. The last meeting of the board was held on such a date, and we discussed the auditor's general report. And today I'm representing an auditor general's report as per the minutes which was held, chaired by so, and this has the board members who signed. Until I have not been supplied with such documents, I'll treat this board as an amorphous grouping. Thank you, Chair.
We have the auditor here. We have the auditor here. Well, may I give the office of the auditor to clarify on such kind of issues?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I wish to respond. Now, Kisumu County Revenue Board is a separate entity which was formed through Kisumu County Revenue Administration Act of 2022. Now, there are two separated functions here. Kisumu County Revenue Board has its management, which is headed by the CEO. Kisumu County Revenue Board has a governance structure which is headed by the chairman of a board. Now, the audited financial statements were audited when the board that is in charge of governance was in place. And the financial statements also indicates the meetings that were held by this board during that year that was audited. The preparation of the financial statement is the responsibility of the management of Kisumu County Revenue Board. The board, which is headed by a chairman, responsibility is oversight. It is true that somewhere along the way, the board which carry out oversight was dissolved. However, the financial statement which were used to generate the Auditor General report were prepared by the management and audited accordingly as per the Public Audit Act. So we have to separate Kisumu County Revenue Board and the board which is in charge of governance of the board itself. It's only that the name board might be a bit confusing. Thank you, Chair.
Maybe because we board today and next financial statements comes, what is the effect of that?
Thank you, Chair. The Auditor General, as per the Public Audit Act, is supposed to audit all financial statements for any entity which has received public funds. So if by any chance the board is still not there, but the management is in place and has prepared a financial statement, it is the responsibility of the Auditor General to carry out that audit. And within its within the wisdom of the Auditor General, the absence of the board which is in charge of governance will be an issue that will be raised within the Auditor General's report.
So it will be a flagged issue if it will be an issue indicated. Maybe to confirm, when I see you, it is alleged that the board was dissolved. Is it really there or not there?
Board, that the board is not, as we speak, is not there. We have a cabinet subcommittee which is doing the oversight to the board currently, which was formed by the cabinet. Thank you.
Which committee?
On the Kisumu County Revenue Board. No, members of the cabinet. It is a subcabinet committee. Thank you. That is until they constitute the new board. Thank you.
Do you have any plan of constituting a new board?
Yes, there are plans to consider a new board, Chair. Yes.
Is it because of the absence of the board? Could we contribute? Could we attribute your confusion to this?
That should not inform the confusion, Chair. Chair, we have noted the lapses that we have committed as a board, and we ask for the indulgence of this court, this committee, to give us another chance to redeem ourselves and make good what we would not have done better. So we are waiting for your guidance on the same. Something. Yes.
You are just been made aware that in the absence of the board, your financial statement will be audited. And it will be submitted to the assembly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I think the CEO has confirmed that the absence of the oversight body of the board does not constitute the lapses that have been identified in the report. And I think before the whip came in, of course, the whip brought in subsidiary issues, because what we were discussing was whether or not to continue discussing this report. Mr. Chairman, I think members have spoken in uniform that given that the report has been received late, and it's an agreement that it is not appropriate that we can continue discussing this report today. And also going by the request of the CEO, I think, Mr. Chairman, is prudent enough that we consider granting this team time so that we also interrogate the report on our side, including the auditor, the responses, including the office of the Auditor General, so that at least we agree on the next time when we can convene another meeting to interrogate this report further. I submit, Mr. Chair.
Given the submissions presented to the chair, to the House, I think we are exhausted everything so far. And from that point, we are going to give you opportunity to come here later. The dates which we'll be giving will be determined by it will be communicated by the clerk. And because we need to dispense with this issue, kindly please move faster and do the appropriate action so far. Apart from that, sometimes back when you are expected to appear to give a response to the auditors do complain to us because we are the oversight authority. It was noted that you don't respond in time. You may understand what is called constitutional timeline. It is within the 3 months. But given that you are an entity getting funds from the county, however late it will be, you will have to appear here. You can remember the other time you appeared in the Senate after 3 months timeline. And the governor himself went to the Senate. He did not complain about what we heard from some of the officers from the board complaining about the constitutional timeline. If you want to complain about constitutional timeline, kindly please make your books to be proper. But when you complain about the constitutional timeline and you are messing up yourself before the house this way, we won't take it very easy as such. So kindly note that. That is a directive from the chair. And we adjourn.